Good morning, everyone. I am Mrs. Padmashri from SNS College of Engineering. Today, I am going to explain the concept of perceptrons in deep learning. What is perceptrons? So, before we see about the perceptrons in deep learning, we'll just discuss about how the perceptrons are working in machine learning. So, it is a very primary step to learn the machine learning and deep learning technology, which consists of a set of weights, input values, or scores under threshold. Perceptrons are a building block of an artificial neural network. So, in the 19th century, Mr. Frank Rosenblatt invented the perceptron for performing certain mathematical calculation, which is also used for the business intelligence. What is perceptron model? Perceptron is a machine learning algorithm which comes under the classification of supervised machine learning binary classifications. It's also called perceptrons or an artificial neuron or neural network unit helps to detect certain data and compute for the business intelligence. And the model is also treated as one of the simplest method for artificial neural network. It is a supervised algorithm, and we can consider this perceptron layer as a single layered neural network with main four parameters: input values, weights, bias, net sum, and an activation function. The binary classifier in machine learning. Binary classifiers are defined as the functions which helps in deciding the input data. Why we need to know about the binary classifiers is since we are using the input data layer in the neural networks, it's very important to classify the data. So it's a function that helps in deciding whether the input data can be represented as vector numbers and also it belongs to particular a specific class. So binary classifiers are called as a linear classifier. Simple word, it is an classification algorithm which predicts linear predictor function in terms of weight and feature vectors. So the structure that you are seeing is the basic component of perceptron. Mr. Frank invented the perceptron model as a binary classifiers which contains the four main components: inputs, weights, net input function, activation function, followed by the output. As we already discussed about the input, there are certain set of inputs we are going to give like x1, x2, x3 to xn, and each input is associated with its own weight values. That weights are assigned as W0, 1, 2, and 3. And both the input and the weight set of all inputs associated with the weights will be calculated as net input function, which is called as summation. Then this is given to the activation function. Activation function is a function which is mainly used to check whether the neurons are performing its operation, performing its functions or not. Then the result will be transmitted to the output. This is the main basic component of perceptrons. Next, as I explained, the input nodes are used for accepting the data into the system for further processing. It also contains the numerical real number values. Weight and the bias. The weight is nothing but parameter represent the strength of the connection between the units, and it is weight is directly proportional to the strength of the input neurons in deciding the output, and bias are the external factors that can be considered as a line of intercept in a linear equation. What is the activation function can be used to find out to check whether the neurons will fire or not, will process or not. And activation function. There are three different types of activation function: sine function, step function, and sigmoid. The first one is a step function. See, it looks like a step. It starts from 0 and it increases towards the positive, like 0 plus 1 plus 2 plus 3. Then again it is having a straight line. So it is a step function. The activation function will falls on any one of these categories. Then sine value. We all know the sign value starts from negative, then points to 0, then again it increases towards a positive value. Then third one is a sigmoid function. The sigmoid is looking like a sine wave, and it starts from the negative value 0, touches the 0, then increases, then again it saturates towards the positive value. So the activation function may differ in all these three categories, mainly used to find out whether the perceptron models are involved in the learning process, whether the learning process is a slow, or it has vanished, or it is performing the function or not. These are the different types of activation function used in the neural network. The rest of the concept of the perceptrons will be continued in the next session. Thank you.